Hello and welcome everybody to the Minority Engineering Program, MEP, Meet and Greet. We are so glad to have all of you, and we know that folks will be joining all throughout this process. We ask you to mute yourself, and we'll start off. Hello, everyone. As you enter in, go ahead and mute yourself. We're so happy to have you today, and I think you're going to find this not only enlightening, but I think you'll enjoy meeting our students and our staff this evening. We're going to start off with just a few housekeeping things. So we'll move on to the second sheet. So first of all, let's just be respectful to one another. We want to keep the noise interferences down. So do not unmute yourself unless you have a question or comment. So we are asking you to share your video. Somebody say that out loud. Share my video because we want to meet you. Yeah, also, if you have to step away, turn your video off so we can eliminate distractions. And if you'd like to participate, raise your hand, and you can do so. That's a button down at the bottom of your screen. If you have questions, put them in the chat room, and we promise to honor them. And of course, those messages should be appropriate. I can't think of a better way to introduce the Minority Engineering Program, which has been the home of thousands of students. We've had several thousand successful graduates, and our students enjoy the benefit of those alumni interactions, as well as those from corporations. And so you'll find a lot of things from academic success, help, all the way to networking opportunities, study abroad. Our boot camp students went abroad 2 summers ago. And so, of course, we can't say it all in one session. So that's why we're having a series of sessions, 1 to 2 nights a week. So invite your friends, anyone you know, and your parents that are interested in engineering and that have been admitted to Purdue. We would love to have them. And so you can find out more. With this session is going to feature something very unique. I think I'll go to the agenda, which should be next up. And one of the things we're going to do today is at the end of the session, we're going to divide into breakout rooms, which will provide you an opportunity to meet people. If you have questions about anything, of course, I'll be happy to help you. But we've got several students, current Purdue students who will be joining us tonight. The staff member here, and we think this will be a great way to end the session where you can have your individual questions answered. So we'll start off with our director who's going to take things over in just a second here. And then you're going to meet her, meet the staff, and then we're going to meet our Purdue students who are present tonight. And some will join later. So if they're not here now, several will be joining later, and then we want to meet you. And then you'll learn a little bit about our program. Won't learn it all tonight because we want this to be more of a meet and greet. But keep on coming back, and every night you'll get more and more information. Tomorrow we're going to focus on specific fields of interest. We'll be covering electrical and computer engineering, so that's both electrical engineering and computer engineering. We'll be covering industrial engineering tomorrow night, as well as multidisciplinary engineering tomorrow night. But with no further ado, probably one of the favorite people at in this whole building at Armstrong Hall, and a favorite of students is the director of MEP. Her name is Virginia Womack, and she's coming at this time so that you can meet her and get acquainted. Mrs. Womack.
Thank you, Derek, and you can take my picture down. It is so good to meet everyone virtually. I'm so sorry that we're dealing with this COVID season that we're in, but I'm happy to see that all of you are safe, and I pray that your families are safe as well. It's been a interesting last couple of years here at Purdue, and it's also opened up opportunities that we never exercised before. So this virtual platform has pros and cons, and it allows us to reach out to people that otherwise may not be able to come to campus. So this is our virtual preview. Normally, the preview program, we will invite you to campus. We'll put you up in a nice hotel. You'll meet other students that are also engineering students that have been admitted. And we will tour the campus. You'll have mentors that'll walk through campus with you, answer pretty much all your questions. We have a separate track, one for students and one for parents, because when it comes to college and parents letting their children go, they have as many questions as their children may have. So we're going to try to accommodate that even through preview. There will be some sessions that are for parents, and there'll be some that are for students. So we're really navigating this space in different ways. And while we're here, if there are particular things that you want to know for future previews, feel free to share it in the chat. We are recording, and we record these so that we can also place them on our YouTube channel for students that weren't able to log in tonight. So we're finding that as we keep introducing these preview virtual programs, students can come in later and see what we talked about, and they can also sign up for future sessions. So I just wanted to start off with that. I am a Purdue graduate. Industrial engineering was my field. And I also have a degree in psychology. I spent 18 years in manufacturing as an engineer before coming back to Purdue in 2004 and leading up this program. The minority engineering program is in place because we recognize that as an institution, there are a lot of things that we need to understand and do better when it comes to attracting underrepresented minorities to the cornfields of Indiana, where Purdue is located. Best corn in the world, but some students that are used to living in larger cities may not know the Purdue campus. For those who I can see, if you've ever been to Purdue's campus, just sort of wave your hand so that I can get an idea. Okay, great, great. And the rest, I would imagine, have not been here. So we're going to pause right here, and I'm going to have Vivek. And when we come back, we will introduce everyone, but I'm going to have Vivek. He's one of our grad students in aeronautical engineering. He's amazing. He's been with MEP for 3 years now, I believe. He's going to show our first video, and we're going to come back and introduce the staff.
Let me know if you can see my screen, and let me play the video.
When we talk about our best moments, they include humanity's first steps on the moon.
That's one small step for man.
Alongside stories about the steps we're taking right now.
One giant leap for mankind.
At one of our country's greatest institutions, Purdue University. A family of students and professors who are in this together, persistently pursuing, relentlessly rethinking. The next game changers, difference makers, ceiling breakers, innovators, Boilermakers.
So when I see the smile run across your face and the sunrise lights up another day, I believe.
And we will never stop. We keep going because discovery is in our DNA. Our greatest adventures are yet to come, and they include you and everything we will experience together when you take your next giant leap.
Okay, that's a pretty good snapshot of Purdue. This website, we can put the link in the chat room. So for those of you that have not been to campus and would like to go through some of the different areas, you can see the cultural centers. You can see our world-renowned co-recreational facility. It has some of the leading equipment in there. I need to go because I picked up so much COVID weight. It doesn't make sense. But we have a lot of different attributes, research laboratories that you'll be able to see virtually. And there's also a tour that will literally walk you through the campus. And as you can see from Vivek's screen, the campus is huge. So welcome to, well, first of all, congratulations for being admitted to the College of Engineering. To get into the College of Engineering, you've already proven that you're one of the smartest kids in the United States. And to that, we want to salute you and commend you for hard work, because we know that it wasn't an easy journey for you to even get to this point. And it's a big deal that you've been admitted to Purdue, and I'm sure you've been admitted to other universities as well. So one of our goals in this program is to win you over to Purdue. We want you here. If I got to get in my car in all the snow and come and find you, I have been known to do that. We do want you here, but more than that, we want you to find a place that feels like home. So I don't want to say too much more than that, because I will talk for the next hour, and that's not on the plan for the day. So I'm going to pause here and let the staff introduce themselves. And we have some students here as well. And we'll start with Dr. Jackie Gatson.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Great. Well, hi, I'm Dr. Jackie Gatson. I'm the MEP Associate Director. It's a pleasure to meet all of you virtually. We hope to meet you soon on campus. We know this isn't ideal, but it's the next best thing. And hopefully you're warm and in the comfort of your own home, or maybe you're in somewhere that's already warm and not experiencing all the snow. But thanks for being with us tonight. We hope that you enjoyed the meet and greet, and we hope that you come back for some of the exciting programming that we have in this lineup this semester. So nice to meet you all. Thank you for coming.
Okay, next we're gonna go with Vivek.
So hello, everyone. First of all, congratulations. You have made it through the first step, I would say. And we hope to see you all in Purdue like next semester. I am Vivek Muralidharan. I'm a PhD student in aeronautics and astronautics, and I work on spacecraft trajectory design. Apart from my PhD work, I also work with MEP as a graduate assistant, and I look after the Academic Success Center, making sure we have enough resources for all of you to excel in your academics.
Thanks, Vivek.
Mhm.
And we're going to end up back with Mr. Williams. So I'm going to go ahead and go through our students, starting with Ricardo. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from and what you're studying. And just say an interesting, fun thought about you.
Oh, hi, my name is Ricardo Suarez. I'm originally from Puerto Rico, but I live in West Palm Beach, Florida. I'm studying industrial engineering. And one of the things at Purdue that I really liked is meeting people from all around the world. It's definitely broadening my perspective.
Thanks, Ricardo. Joshua?
Hey everybody, I'm Josh. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Construction engineering major. One of my favorite things about Purdue is how much money that degree is gonna get me.
That's right. Okay. All right. And in terms of
Joyce.
staff, we got Joyce. Where'd Joyce go? There you go. Joyce.
Hi, everybody. My name is Joyce Adwinojo. I'm a mechanical engineering student. I'm in my third year. And my favorite thing about Purdue is probably stopping by MEP a few times a week to see my friends and see the staff.
Thanks, Joyce. And now, the most important people for the day are our guests. So we want to meet you, whether you're a student or a parent. And some of the students that are here, your parents may be nearby. Feel free if they'd like to introduce themselves. But we're going to start with Julia. I know I didn't, did I say your name right?
Yeah, you said it right.
Great. Okay.
So, hi everyone, my name is Julia Piscopo. I'm from a really tiny town in Illinois called Hampshire, Illinois. It actually looks a lot like Purdue, so Purdue really feels like home already. I am admitted as a first-year engineering student, but I'm interested in chemical engineering as a specific concentration.
Great to meet you.
Thank you, you too.
Monique.
Hi, my name is Monique Watson. I'm from Maryland, right outside of DC. And I was admitted to first year engineering too, and I'm interested in mechanical engineering.
Great to meet you, Monique. Nathaniel.
Hi, I'm Nathaniel. I'm from Arizona, but I currently reside in Atlanta, Georgia, and I was accepted first year for materials science and engineering.
Great to meet you, Nathaniel. Shelly Boyd.
Hi, yes, my name is Evan. I live in Columbus, Ohio, and I got accepted into the engineering program for chemical engineering.
Okay, well, congratulations. Now we have our CTO. I'm sorry, Noah.
Hi, my name's Noah Arcidio. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Okay.
Yes.
I live in Fresno, California, and I got accepted into the electrical engineering.
All right. I know you'll be excited to see all this snow. We're expecting 11 more inches. That's not freaking me out. And I didn't go to the store yesterday, so I hope I have enough food.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you know, for a lot of the students that haven't seen the snow, they're out there making the angels in the snow. It's always fun day one. It's enough snow here now to put a whole family of snowmen, snow kids, snow grandparents. It's just, you know, it has its fun part, but then there's that part where you want the sun to come out and melt it all back. Okay, Erin.
Hi, my name is Erin. Right now I'm in Eugene, Oregon, and I am going to Purdue for mechanical engineering.
Congratulations, Erin. We look forward to seeing you. Nicole?
Hi, I'm Nicole Catino. I am from Dallas, Texas, and I'm interested in going into aerospace engineering at Purdue.
Congratulations, Nicole. We look forward to seeing you soon. Lorraine.
I'm sorry, my sister's in the background for a second, but I'm Lorraine and I'm calling from Virginia right now, and I got into the first year of engineering program.
Congratulations. Robin.
Hi, sorry, my video feed is cutting out, but I'm actually a student at Purdue. I think I got mixed up. But yeah, I'm a PhD, I'm a fourth year PhD in materials engineering. So if anyone has questions, please let me know. Just want to say my favorite thing about Purdue is like probably some of the like associations like MEP and stuff like that, and the women's engineering program too. They have a lot of like really good programs in terms of like working towards like diversity and stuff. And I'm from California and I do not like the snow, but I do think that campus is really pretty when it's not too much snow. So hope you guys enjoy this meeting and stuff. So
And thanks, Robert, for coming.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought you were a visiting student.
No, it's okay.
I
No
apologize.
problem.
And there was another student here, and I'm not seeing them now. Am I missing someone? Okay, if I didn't call you, just please introduce yourself now if you'd like. Okay, so I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Williams. He will introduce himself again to let you know a little bit about his background.
Well, we're so glad again to have you. My name is Derek Williams, or some, as you look at my email, will say Derek Williams Bacon. People don't know whether to call me Mr. Williams or Mr. Bacon. Either one will be fine as long as you don't call me late for dinner. I've been working with the MEP the past couple of years. Prior to that, I've been at Purdue for about 15 years, I think it is. Isn't that about right, Mrs. Womack? We came back at the same time. And so I have enjoyed several positions in recruiting. And then I worked with a scholarship program where we brought kids in STEM majors from the city of Indianapolis and followed them all the way from middle school all the way through graduation in college. So I was there about, I think about 5, 6 years. I graduated about 100 students of color. And then I joined MEP, and I really enjoy my position here. And I feel like I'm growing, and I tell you, some of the greatest students are engineering students. Uh, Love them all, but I tell you, I really am having a good time. And so we're here. Anything you need. This has been for many students a home away from home. So I'm gonna go in to talk a little bit about types of services that we offer. So we're gonna bring the PowerPoint back up. Um, and I'm going to talk to you first of all about, the College of Engineering. Our focus is on impacting the world. Of course, this is also MEP's mission. We focus on learning, discovery, and engagement in fulfilling the land grant promise. We do so by focusing on some key areas, and that they are outreach. That's pretty much K-12, and recruiting students to Purdue, and that's why we're having preview. And then after you arrive at Purdue, we want to see you be successful. We're not happy until you graduate and come back as an alumni and able to tell great stories to students. And so we run the full gamut of the types of services that we offer. Our services are open to all students, but we focus on those who have been historically underrepresented in engineering. And so that would include African American, Latino / Hispanic, American and Native American, American Indian, Native American, Hawaiian, Pacific Islander students. So these are our primary focus, because the numbers, of course, are never where we want them to be. So our job is to get as many of you here and see you graduate. So I want to move a little bit deeper into the types of things that we do, because once you come to Purdue, you'll find that we cover just about everything. So as we look at retention, when we look at retention, I'm now talking about some of the programs that we do. We do camps, but our premier camp is called the Academic Boot Camp, or the Engineering Boot Camp, 5 weeks long. We're still working out the details, due to COVID, but we imagine that this summer we'll have students on campus. We're very excited about that, and that these courses may be for credit. What we do is provide you a simulated experience of what it's like to be a Purdue student. It is very intense. You get a chance to preview your English, your calculus, your chemistry, MATLAB courses. Did I leave out anything? Because I said 5. I don't know if I said 5 or not. But those are the primary courses, as well as you also get to build a go-kart from scratch. That's something that the students love. For many students, MEP is a place of community, a family, a place that the very first day of school, most semesters, you have so many students. A lot of times we'll provide donuts. And even during dead week, the week before finals, we'll provide meal, which I don't know any other department doing that. But it's just a home, and it's a family, and the students care about. You don't have to know a student. If you're in the academic success center, you can turn to someone you don't know and ask them how to do a problem. And so that brings me to our academic success center. If you would move forward in the slide. We provide many services. And so here in the Academic Success Center, you're going to find support for our Engineering 180 class, which I'll talk about in a second. You will get exposure to employers and corporations. There'll be free tutoring sessions. And if you're having difficulty in a very difficult class where you can't seem to find tutoring anywhere else, we may be able to help you. Corporate engagement and mentoring, I think I said that already. Also graduate school preparation, also connections to research. And then we have a very strong hand with quite a number of student organizations. NESB was founded here at Purdue by Purdue students the second year that MEP came in existence. And so we have a very strong hand in working with students and helping them to be successful and exposing and grooming them for success. So we do workshops on resume and preparing you for the Industrial Roundtable, which is one of the largest career fairs for engineers in the country. So we'll do a number of things. And then a few years ago, we started a learning community. The learning community has more than one track, and we'll share more information because that is, of course, due to COVID, it's still evolving. But there is a place for you to participate. There are no requirements in terms of participating with MEP. If you want to be if you want to be in our learning community, you do have to live in the residence hall, and the academic boot camp portion of the learning community, you would be taking classes with other students. One big feature of the learning community is the fact that all of the students are in the Engineering 180. This class is a wonderful experience from the standpoint of not only do we prepare you with everything a freshman needs to know, but you're going to meet alum, going to meet folks from corporations. We've had quite a number of companies come, and they're very interested in meeting underrepresented students and getting you to get the jump on the future. So that the Engineering 180 and learning communities, it's something that you should probably consider as you're considering everything else. I'm not gonna, let's go ahead and go on to the next slide. We want to, and so here's some more information about this 1 credit hour class. It's not demanding at all, but I guarantee that you'll find it beneficial, especially even afterwards, because our students are doing a number of things that you won't necessarily find. And of course, we cannot talk about everything. We can't talk about the ethics learning community, which a lot of our students are able to benefit as part of our learning community. But if you come back, or even if you talk to some of the students today, they'll be able to share a lot of information with you. So we'll go ahead and move from there. And we're moving on to a time where we can begin to entertain your questions. What would you like to know about MEP? Let me look in the chat. Are there any questions? I went through that pretty fast.
Aaron?
How many students are currently in MEP right now?
So I'll answer that. And I just want to make it clear that Minority Engineering Program at Purdue is a program that looks at the overall university as it relates to the College of Engineering and our demographics. Okay. And so when it comes to underrepresented students, I would say for all underrepresented minorities that were mentioned, we have probably 1,100 underrepresented minorities in the College of Engineering. And of those, the majority are Hispanic, and second would be African American. This year so far, 200, my last look, 210 African Americans have been admitted into the College of Engineering, but we want to yield them. So you are of that 200 plus, and we want to yield. My hope is at least 100, but that's a stretch. For the Hispanic, I think our numbers are closer to 400 that have been admitted, and we want to yield at least 200 of them. I always try to get that 50% going. For Native American students, we have typically failed the Native American community. Purdue does better than the nation, but to have 4 Native Americans at the university is a big deal. You know, so we average around 2 to 3. And that's not anything to be proud of, but that is the truth. So for those populations, we do a lot of programs to just get them to campus and to let them meet a community of others that share like cultural values so that they know that there's a community here they can be a part of. And one of the things we want to do, we won't be able to do everything in this session, is to go through the different cultural centers and what they do, how they establish sense of community. And we talk about MEP. Now, no one is required to participate in MEP. So the fact that you are underrepresented doesn't mean you have to be involved with MEP, but I will be involved with you. If I see that you're struggling financially, I'm going to try to help you find money. If I see that you're struggling academically, I will ever so gently, invite you to come and let's talk about it and see what we can do to try to fix that. Because sometimes it's just a matter of having somebody to talk to and to, throw your strategies around to find out what's my best strategy to maintain the academic posture I want at Purdue. And one thing that I can say for sure, all of you that got in, you are the best, because the criteria to get in Purdue is ridiculous. Most people I know that are engineers would not qualify to get in today because the bar has been raised very high. So you represent the nation's best, but you're going to come to this university or to another university. If you come to Purdue, you will be sharpened by some of the brightest minds in the world, because we just talked about the numbers. And I say for underrepresented minorities as a whole, we're at about 5% that are underrepresented in the College of Engineering, but we have been as high as 23% for international students. So that means for every underrepresented minority, there are probably 10 to 15 international students that you're going to compete with. And they are some of the best students in the world. So that's nothing to be afraid of, but it's definitely something to feel real good about when you realize that you are performing as good, if not better, than some of the sharpest minds in the entire world. That's what makes Purdue engineers so sought after. But it also makes it difficult, because what we offer freshman year at Purdue, a lot of our international students had that material in the 7th and 8th grade. And I've got Vivek sitting up there and he can prove that, because the stuff that we offer. Vivek, tell the story that you told me about your experience when you came here.
Sure. So like undergrad education, like for example, I can speak on what happens in India, but as far as I know, like from a couple of my friends, like the education system, like in many of the Asian countries, are more rigorous than what is there in the US. So a lot of concepts that you study, like you will be studying in your like calculus 1, 2, and chemistry 115, 116, whatever classes. So these classes, these students from Asian countries, they have already done it in their high school. So once they come here, they are basically doing it all over it again. So they are already seen the materials. They have already gone through like multiple examinations for these classes. So they have a better understanding of these concepts already before even attending any of these freshman classes. So not to disappoint you, but to make you prepare for what is how the level of education at Purdue is going to be. And we want you to like excel like in each of these classes and have very good academic like grades, and you excel throughout your undergrad career.
Absolutely. So because we know we've got the demographics, we have the data. I look at data by class. I want to know by ethnicity, who are the highest performances, who are the highest performers for the gateway classes at Purdue. And for freshman year, that will be your Calc 1. That's your chemistry 115. And I hear it over and over again. Student says, oh, wow, I took chemistry sophomore year, and I haven't really looked at it since then. That's very normal. But that first year chemistry class is something to, send a lot of kids back to church, They was praying, trying to get to that because they had forgotten most of that. And I'm just going to pause. We've got some students here. Tell us about your first year and what, if anything, would you advise these incoming freshmen to do? And I'll start, Ricardo, with you.
I always consider myself a good student in high school, but at Purdue, I learned the importance of time management, organizing your time, and establishing priorities. I think one of the, for example, one obstacle was the face that, oh, I'll start this homework on Monday. But since I started Monday and the homework was due Tuesday, I couldn't attend office hours. And that in the long run ended up costing me more time. So definitely organizing your time can reduce 90% of the problems I face. If I could go back, I'll definitely organize time better because when you're organized, in the long run, you end up saving even more time because you can attend office hour, you can discuss homework. So definitely managing your time is my number one tip.
Okay. Any other students want to chime in?
Man, that first semester was it was really rough. Calc 1 is not a joke. Like he said, definitely go to office hours. I was real, I don't know. Don't be prideful just coming in. Like, yeah, you guys were the smartest kids at your school, of course. But now you're in the school where everyone's the smartest kid in their class. And it's survival of the fittest. So definitely lean on your professors and manage your time better.
And Robin, did you want to share anything? I know you're in grad school, but and I don't know if you went to undergrad here, but I'm sure your undergrad years were quite similar.
Yeah, so my perspective might be a little different since I'm a grad student, but I think that I can still relate. Like I did take classes my first and second year. So I think that some of the tips here that have been shared is like, time management. And also I want to say is like Purdue is a great school, but you got to find people here that you can relate to because everyone has had a different experience. And I think that finding people that you can relate to and finding people that you can rely on is going to be, because if you're from like the Midwest, if you're not from the Midwest, it's going to be a little bit of a culture shock because it was for me when I moved here. But, just you can find people here. There's so many different clubs. I think Purdue has a lot to offer anyone that's going to come here. It is a really good school. And I mean, it does have a great name, but everyone here is very friendly. And my tips too is go to office hours. Don't be afraid of your professors. Like they might seem like they're so, like they're all super busy, but yeah, like I think most professors are going to be willing to help and just adjust as much as you can because it's going to be a fun ride. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So
Thanks,
I'd
Robin.
like to ask.
I just want to wrap one thing from Robin. Robin mentioned the Women in Engineering program. Women in Engineering program was founded at Purdue. We have the best Women in Engineering program in the nation. I can say that hands down. And Beth Holloway is the director of that program, very good friend of mine. And I recommend that all of our students, whether you're male or female, join the Women in Engineering program. I'd recommend that you take advantage of the Minorities in Engineering program. You do not have to be a minority to take advantage of what we offer. All of our programs are open to any student, but we have our eyes on the demographics that we're trying to maximize in terms of getting them here, but we don't say no to any student and all students are welcome. So I just wanted to get that out there.
Yeah.
And thanks, Robin, but Derek, you were going to say something.
So, and you guys, you can put it in the chat. What are your concerns about leaving home, going to college? What concerns do you have? You can speak up right now, or you can put it in the chat. Now, there's a question here. There are two questions, so I'm going to go ahead and mention those, and we'll attempt to address them. Does MEP offer scholarship offers to help with the cost of attendance? That's the first question. Second question is, what is the MEP minority engineering retention rate for freshman year?
Okay, so we look at and we track not only retention rate, we track our first semester performance for those that do the boot camp, first year retention rates, and we track 4, 5, and 6 year graduation rates. The question was retention rate, and I believe we're in the 90 percentile, and it goes from 90 to 93. I think we've dropped as low as 88% for first year. When I first started in 2004, we were at 63% first year retention. So and we've had several years where we outperformed the entire College of Engineering and the university for first year retention. So students that come here that want to be at Purdue, they don't play. This is where they want to be and this is where they want to succeed. And hands down, they put their mind to it and they persist. There's a couple other questions. Scholarships. Scholarships is a big deal because college affordability is ridiculously high. And we realize that. And a lot of parents, a lot of parents have paid a lot to get their students through high school and to put them in the best position to compete in a college environment. And so to then turn around and go to a school that's charging $45,000 or more is difficult. But one thing that I've had to just settle down and acknowledge, college does cost. And to the issue of Joshua Gregory, it's easy for me to see a student graduate from undergrad and start out with $104,000 a year. So the payback is amazing, but it still doesn't help you if you don't have money right now. So I would say that less than 20% of admitted students receive a scholarship from Purdue. So that's 2 out of 10 that will receive a scholarship from Purdue. That's not something I'm proud of. I don't feel that for the caliber of student that we get to Purdue, we're not able to compete with the MITs and the Stanfords and schools that have large endowments to fund the education of students that want to come there. We're trying to do better. We have a very rigorous push to get more scholarship dollars. There are legal issues around scholarship dollars that are earmarked specifically for underrepresented minorities. And we have a very strong legal team that keeps us aware of what we can and can't do. But I still see an influx of funds coming in. So for right now, I know one offer has gone out, but there are other offers that are going to go out. MEP as a unit, because we are a program that focuses on underrepresented minorities, all eyes are on us when it comes to scholarships, but I'm not scared because anybody can participate. As far as I'm concerned, we're going to do everything we can to help a student, especially once they come here, to stay. But I have to acknowledge that freshman engineering, which all of you will come into the first year engineering program, freshman engineering or first year engineering is not where the money is. The money is in the major. So when you come out of freshman engineering or first year engineering and you go into your major, that's where the large dollars are specifically for students. So you want to make sure that you're looking at your major. So that's the first thing you want to do. Looking at your major is one thing, but filling out the scholarship applications, there's a standard common app for a scholarship. You must fill those out because when money does come available, they only pull from the names of students that have submitted their application for a scholarship consideration. So there are a lot of steps that we can talk about in this, but I do want you to know there's support here. We talked about first year engineering is not necessarily where the money is, but in the colleges, in the schools of engineering, there are larger sums of money to apply to. The second thing is internships and co-ops. Purdue has a phenomenal internship and co-op program. And it's very common for at the end of a year, even freshmen get internships and they pay good money. But I think I have some students here that have done internships that maybe can speak to that, because once you get an internship, your issue around money diminishes quite a bit, because they pay, the highest I've ever heard someone get paid on an internship was $65 an hour. And I almost fell out of my chair when I heard that offer, but that was cool. And so the student went and she started out in debt because she had to get loans, but she graduated with zero debt because she made enough during her internships to pay off her back debt. So we need for you to be thinking like that, because your parents have brought you a long way, but they need also for you to find those scholarship dollars. There's a lot of money that is left unspent because no one applied for it. So we need for students, and you will know those scholarships that are literally earmarked for you, but you have to go in the system and apply. So we encourage students, as part of your day, at least 2 hours a week, you need to dedicate to simply looking for scholarships and applying. You will be surprised at the money that's out there. But I did ask a question about internships. I know, Joshua, I saw you all plastered all over LinkedIn in your job. Can you share something about what you did?
So the one you saw, that was my co-op from this past fall. I took a semester off and I worked with Walsh Construction. And I worked on 2 different construction sites. I was building an emergency room at Gottlieb Memorial Hospital. It's in a suburb of Chicago. And then I went and helped build a retirement home in another suburb of Chicago. It was pretty cool. The pay was all right. I learned what it was like to work in the corporate world and what I do and don't want to get out of my degree. It was nice not to be at school and was actually making money instead of spending money. Honestly, it was a really good experience and I would recommend it for anybody. And that's like part of the perks of being at Purdue. Everybody I know, it's a common occurrence to get an internship or a co-op. That's not really like that everywhere else.
Right, and our internship placement is very high. The difference between an internship and a co-op. In an internship, you can pretty much switch companies every year if you want to. That gives you a broader range of companies to choose from. A co-op is typically a relationship where a company picks you up and they will rotate you over, I think, 5 different terms. So you may, let's say you get your first co-op in the summer, and then at the end of the summer, you come back to school for that next semester in the fall. And then the spring semester, that entire semester, you're working back with the company. Then you're back at Purdue for just the summer. And in the fall, you're back at that company. So you've literally put in a whole year at probably a 50,000 plus salary. And that's pretty cool. But when you graduate after your rotations, you will not only graduate with an engineering degree, but you'll also have 2 years of work experience already built up if you decide to go to that company. And even if you don't go to the company, that still counts as experience on your resume. So the co-op piece is a big deal. Another thing that people don't talk about a lot, but I hear students do, they apply to be a resident assistant in a residence hall. That pays all of your fees and your tuition, and that's a sweet spot to be in too. But you are now an advisor and you're responsible for the students on your floor. So there are different things you can do once you get to college. It's not just every year there's just bills, 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 but there are opportunities, opportunities, opportunities. And it's up to you to search those out. We're here to help you with that. And I'm also in the background trying to work on getting more scholarship dollars. But what you need to realize about scholarship dollars, wherever you go, if you get a scholarship and someone gives you a full ride, for example, there's a GPA requirement to keep it. And sometimes those requirements for the better scholarships can be, now why is my husband doing work in the house when I'm on this? Can y'all hear him? Can y'all hear him?
No,
You can't.
no, we can't.
He's back here sawing in the house. You can see sawdust blowing all in front of me.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
No, he's doing some good work, y'all. He's doing honey work, so I'm not gonna complain. What was I saying? Somebody tell me, I forgot. What was the last thing?
You were saying scholarships, the GPA requirement.
Yeah. So I've seen a lot of students that, let's say the GPA requirement is a 3.2. If you get a 3.19999, you will lose that money. And that sucks. And if you came all the way from California and you end up with the 3.1999, I'm gonna have a problem with them taking your scholarship, especially if in the summer you make it up. So what we've done at Purdue, if you lose your scholarship, you have a year to recover it. A lot of schools don't have that. So in every scholarship, that's not the case. But you need to know, wherever you go, you need to know all those details. Don't leave nothing unasked. So ask us all the questions that you have. And you need to go in with a great set of answers so that whatever college you choose, you know how to survive. Okay. And I typically, there are schools that have scholarships that have a 2.7 GPA to keep it. It's not that we want you to perform at a 2.7 and be happy, but that's a pretty comfortable spot to be in when you know you're going to do better than a 2.7. So you have a really good chance that you're going to keep it. So I've seen a lot of students come in with the scholarship, and not so much that they couldn't do the GPA, but the pressure they were under was just too much, and they decided to let them go. And we've had students that have come in with scholarships and kept it all the way through. And you'll meet a couple of those students as you come to more previews. You'll meet students that have maintained 4.0s. So, I mean, there are ways to do it. And even though we talked about the international population, we only talk about that so that you will come in here and hit the ground running. Some people have asked questions about the boot camp. We simulate what a first semester is going to feel like, and we put it on steroids, basically. So if you survive the boot camp, your first semester should be pretty relaxing. It's still going to be tough, but we will expose you to the rigor of homework and how often you'll get homework. You'll get actual exams that were given semester before in your calc, in your chemistry, and you'll be able to test, yourself against those exams. And we've had students that took the exam and it was nothing. They were like, boom, I'm done. And they got, very high grades. So I'm like, okay, it's just for the student to know, where are my skills? I know what my grades are. I know I'm a great student, but am I ready for this type of examination? And if I'm not, I'd rather find that out 5 weeks during the summer and recoup. I need to sort of pull back and say, well, let me go at this a different way because I didn't do quite what I thought I would do, as compared to coming in the fall and then discovering that, because there's no recovery for that other than going through whatever the grade is. So we like to try that out. Some students really freak out. I'd rather you freak out in the summer and then we get over it. And then we start the year and we're good. Because the other students coming in the fall, they're going to freak out too. You'll be sort of grinning like, yeah, I went through that in the summer. And some of the students may be able to attest to that. Anybody, am I telling the truth here? Because I don't want to just put things out there. I don't see no nodded heads. See, Joyce is over there doing homework. I can tell. Joyce, are you doing homework? Are you listening to what we're talking about?
Yes, ma'am. No, I heard you, Miss Booth. I definitely, for sure heard you what you were talking about. Everything you said was correct. Like, you don't want to be that kid that like does boot camp and then you start the semester and then kids that didn't do boot camp are doing better than you, because I was that kid. And it's pretty embarrassing. Like, I remember it was Chem 115. And Chem 115 is basically like the chemistry y'all already took. If you did take chemistry, it's not too bad, but like, I remember my whole friend group got A's and I was the one person that got a B, and everybody was laughing at me because it was such an easy course, but I was just lazy. So you don't want to be that kid, especially if you do boot camp. That's why it's so important to take boot camp seriously. A lot of kids come in and they make the mistake of like not taking boot camp seriously and actually trying to put effort into it. Because if you actually put effort into it, your freshman, at least first semester, it should be the whole year, but at least first semester should be easy. Not easy, but like it's not as difficult as it is for other kids. So that's why it's important, if you do choose to do boot camp, please take it seriously. Use all the resources that are available to you, because you want to be able to enjoy freshman year, and you're not going to enjoy if you're like me, the one kid that got B and Chem 115 and our friends got A's. So.
Well, I'll take a BRA in those classes. When I was coming, it was rough. But yeah, that's some good feedback. You do want to do your best, and you don't want to procrastinate. And you may already be experiencing that. I still have issues with procrastination, and I see a lot of questions here about the boot camp. We are really trying to make this boot camp absolutely free, but we don't have all our final commitments yet. But typically the boot camp costs me about $4,900 per student. And I can't charge that to you because you're already coming in for tuition and you're gonna be at Purdue. So we have traditionally just charged a $1,000 fee for the boot camp, and there are scholarships out there that can offset that. So our cost model is going to shift a little bit, but to that, I think Dr. Gasson made a note of someone else. We would do all we can to offset that cost, but you are here for 5 weeks and it's residential. So most parents don't have a problem, even if they just had to pay the $1,000, they don't have a problem with that. I do believe that you should have some skin in the game, because when things are free, you tend to devalue it. So we're looking at models, cost models for that. If all things go the way we want it to, you will earn 7 credit hours, which will count towards your GPA. But we want that 7 credit hours to be A's. We may not put you through Calc 1 in the boot camp, because I don't want to see if anybody's struggling. I don't want that grade to count. That's why we do that as a simulation, so that you have a chance to recover. We have had a lot of students that took Calc 1 in the boot camp and they aced it. So the jury's still out, and Dr. Gaston, who you've met, she's going to be making those decisions. I'd rather it be a class like Communications 114, a comm class, and maybe credit for your project. We did that last year, and all the students got an A. So they started out with a 4.0, even though it was just a 1 credit. It was a 1 credit A, it was still a 4.0, and mentally that does something for you. But if you have 7 credit hours, I would want you to get a 4.0 again. And then when you start your semester, you have a cushion, so that whatever the semester brings, you're ready to navigate through that, okay? So we've wanted to have all the details out. We had a meeting today on the boot camp. The fact is, we will have it. And the fact is, it will be affordable for you, okay? And the rest of the details, we're gonna work out behind the scenes. And typically the boot camp would have 30, my goal was 25 to 30, but in 2019, we had 36 students and they about drove me nuts. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot.
They had a lot of
They had
fun.
fun too, because see, we're in a whole different day today, and the young people are very adventurous, but when you do the boot camp as a pre-college program, there are a lot of restrictions that I'm held to, because you are not a student yet. So I'm responsible to your parents to take care of you. But if we do it for credit, to the chagrin of many of those that are here that did the boot camp, some of those restrictions will be lifted, because you will be officially a student on Purdue's campus. But we will still have some rigor around your study sessions and maintaining a certain GPA before we will relax the restrictions. We typically do that. If you maintain a 3.5, we restrict your restrictions. We relax your restrictions so that you have more freedom to do things that you might want to do. But we don't need to go through all that right now. And I think for the things I see in the chat, I'm trying to sort of address them as we go. I think I have.
Yeah, we're running out of time.
Every time y'all give me the mic, I'm gonna talk to you. So I'm gonna stop talking. I'll give it back to you all.
Well, we want to give an opportunity to our parents. We have Mrs. Womack's going to have a parent room, and I think I see some parents here. And then for those students who might want to talk to other students, it's difficult to really address all your questions. So what we're going to do is create an opportunity through the breakout rooms for you to talk to students, and for you also to talk to the staff. And so, and of course, we have the next month. So there's quite a bit of it. There's no way you get all your questions answered tonight. We've got plenty of sessions. We haven't even begun to share information. There's so much to cover. And so each successive session that we have will have a different focus. One will be college affordability. We'll cover boot camp and a lot of the other first year options. So we just invite you to come back. And in the meanwhile, you can call us, you can email us. Let me put my information here in the chat in case you have questions. Of course, college affordability is going to be big. And we've got Lori Pence coming in, and then we'll have someone from financial aid. And there's just a lot of factors in terms of where the money is. And Mrs. Womack spoke to that, where very often students get internships and co-ops, and to a greater degree will help solve the financial issues, as well as once you get into your college where the money is. But the very first year, they need to see how you do. They're not gonna invest a lot of money because in students the first year because historically first year students a lot of them don't do as well. So they wait to see how you do. So that's just a fact of life. If you can make it through this first year and do well, there are opportunities. So we're going to close right here. Any students have any questions before we go? You guys have a wonderful night. We have the session on IE, and we've got a student panel, and we'll cover industrial engineering, EE, ECE, which is electrical computer engineering. We'll cover multidisciplinary engineering tomorrow night. And then next week, we'll have a session related to the pandemic. Every week, there'll be 1 or 2 sessions. Look forward to seeing you guys. Have a wonderful evening.
I got a question, Derek. So
Sure.
Robert Standard, did I meet you yet? Did you introduce yourself? Because that name looks a little, if you're still there.
Stannard, is it Stannard or Stannard?
Yeah.
Robert? Robert, are you still here?
Okay. I just didn't want to forget anybody.
He may have stepped away.
Yeah, he might be shy. You never know.
Right.
Okay. All right, everybody.
My
Stay safe.
information, you will find my information here in the chat if you want to, and feel free to email or give us a call. We'll see you soon. Have a good night.
Good night.
Study hard. Keep up your grades.
I'll see you at Purdue.